At the Kansas City Art Institute's Art of the Car Concours d'Elegance, the term rolling art is so beautifully obvious. The patina evidencing gentle use, the warmth of rich hardwoods, the matrix of fine woven fabrics, all combine to manifest a lovely genre of historic art and design into gorgeous shapes. These elements are all combined in magnificent creations, enriching the spirit, enlivening the soul, and blessing the artists, designers, and most certainly the observers. Vehicles here are both big and small in dimension, older and more recent. Participants frequently share first-hand information about a particular vehicle, explaining unique design features. Others just prefer quiet examination of a vehicle's glorious detail. Likewise, various owners openly enrich this experience beyond that of merely a casual observation of the exhibit, always to the delight of the recipient. Not surprising, many patrons don't miss the opportunity to photographically capture this grand event. On one beautiful day every summer, here on the palatial grounds of the renowned Kansas City Art Institute in Kansas City, Missouri, the diverse and magnificent works of great vehicle artists and designers down through the years are assembled in a glorious public exhibit to benefit student scholarships at this historic institute. Yes, there is a joyous spirit aflow here every year, even seen with this young robin, who is communicating a personal melody titled at the Kansas City Art Institute's Art of the Car Concours d'Elegance. This bird sings.
Hello, Mabel. This is my mobile phone for Model T. Huh? Well, code, Morse code.
Great vehicles are here every year from outstanding public as well as private collections, renowned museums from near and far, as well as vehicles from the garages and small shops of individual hobbyists. This outstanding show has matured into one of the finest, grand vintage car events in the United States. Last year, vehicles from 8 states were exhibited with 5,000 art devotees and classic car enthusiasts attending, making this the largest invitation-only Concours d'Elegance between Detroit and California. Inside, adjacent to lovely veranda balcony, a tasty brunch awaits special guests of the presenting corporate sponsor, Aristocrat Mercedes and Mercedes-Benz of Kansas City. In the splendor of a beautiful summer morning, guests and participants enjoy a leisurely view of this burgeoning Concours d'Elegance by 10 a.m., maturing into a grand show right before their eyes.
Hello, I'm Charlotte DiTiro, and this is my truckette. It was bought for me for my 40th birthday by my husband, Frank. And most people can drive a minivan every day. I drive a truckette called the Chuck Wagon. And it's an AK 250 brought over from France, and it takes a hero to drive a Chuck Wagon.
I'm Frank DiTiro, and I am the second half, or lesser half, of Frank and Chuck. And we live in the Brookside area and are committed, or should be committed, Francophiles, as you can tell by my 38 Traction Avant and my wife's Chuck Wagon. This is a 1938. I had a 39 before that I restored myself, and promptly sold it after I finished the restoration and missed it. And so when this one came up for sale, I traded a 2 Chevaux and a 50 Chevy Fleetline for the two cars, even trade. I've had it about a year now, and it's just about to the point where it's finished, so it'll be time to sell it again. So, but I enjoy it very much. Drive it every day, as a matter of fact, this time of year. It's terrific.
Few, if any, other shows could exhibit an open-wheel Indy Championship racer like this factory-built Studebaker, powered by a smooth but muscular Studebaker President straight-8 engine. As you can see, this vehicle proves itself to be a genuine showstopper. Wow! The 1936 Stout Scarab is more than just the first ever minivan, but a marvelously smooth aerodynamic shape, providing a lovely interior seating arrangement fitting for a corporate conference. It was designed by aircraft engineer William Stout, who contributed significantly to the famous Ford Trimotor all-metal aircraft.
This is my 1936 Scarab that I've had for about 25 years. This car is one of 6 that are left out of from 6 to 9 that were originally built. They sold new for $5,000 when Fords and Chevrolets sold for $500 to $900 in the depth of the Depression, when nobody had $500 to $900, let alone $5,000. First cars, some of them went to Phil Wrigley with a chewing gum man, Dow Chemical man, and we don't know who else. I bought the car from Harrah's Museum about 25 years ago, and it's been totally restored. Everything from new parts, the whole engine, every single part in the engine's new. Beautiful headliner, all hand-woven wood. Everything else was redone from the standpoint of paint and body work and everything. Everything was from one end to the other.
The car's a 1930 Phantom II. It was
originally made, the chassis was made in England and it was shipped to France, where a Russian coach builder built the coach for a Russian princess. She was actually an American who married a Russian prince, so she had the car built. Everything that she wanted on it, they performed.
I'm Wendell Smith from St. Louis, Missouri, here with my 27 Rolls Phantom 1. This is a British model Rolls that was imported to the States. The original owner was from Chicago, Illinois. He had sold the car during the war years. It was going into a scrap drive, and it was rescued by a fella from Chamois, Missouri. He drove the car home, put it in his in-laws' barn, and was going to fix it up someday. Unfortunately, he and his wife divorced, and the in-laws got tired of walking around the car, so they pulled it out in the cornfield. And it sat out there behind the barn for 20 years, missing the top, so the wood framing, and the coach in this era was made of wood, and in this case covered with aluminum skin. The wood had totally rotted, and I had to replace all the wood. The mechanics on the car, the engine was seized when I got it, but I discovered it only had a little over 3,000 miles on it. So other than just disassembling and cleaning, mechanically I had to do very little to it. So I'm pleased to have the opportunity to participate in the show here. You fellows are doing a wonderful job.
I'm Richard Crump. This is a 1929 Duesenberg, part of the John Grondike collection. In 1929, you purchased a Duesenberg chassis from the Auburn Cord Duesenberg chassis in Auburn, Indiana. The price range was $5,000 to $8,000 in that range, and then you selected your own coach builder. Often you just have the factory put a Murphy body on the car. This particular car was bodied by LeBaron. And is called a swept panel because of the flat side panel on the side. Swept panel, LeBaron body. The price range for the coach builder could run as much as $25,000 in addition to what the chassis cost. So this car was restored in Chicago, Illinois by Fran Roxa, finished about 2 years ago. It had competed and won Best of Show at Meadowbrook Hall last year. It took second in class at Pebble Beach last year, and a class win at Amelia Island this spring, and a class win at the Keels and Wheels show in Houston, Texas. So, and now it's fun to be here in Kansas City. I appreciate the invite. Hi, I'm John Binger from Leawood, Kansas. 1935 C1 Chrysler Airflow. They were made from 1934 to 1937 were the only years they were made. A very aerodynamic car, well ahead of its time. It has swing-out windshields, cruise control, mechanical cruise control, overdrive, ride adjustable shocks, and the trunk on this particular model is from the inside because it was a dustless truck. I guess you had a problem with seals back then, the rubber.
and so they made the trunk accessible from the inside only. I found the car up in Seattle, Washington, owned by Kit Carson. Took him about 10 years. Took 2 cars to make this particular vehicle. Has 4 paint coats and 10 coats of clear. He flew all the way to England to get the original English broadcloth for all the interior, all the headliner, and had the entire engine overhauled. So it's just in excellent condition, cruises down the highway at 70, 75, and can even go faster, you know. And again, mechanical cruise control, you sit back, set it, and just a gorgeous car.
My name's Verlin Bowes. I'm from Lake Weatherby, Missouri, and I'm in a 1953 Nash Healey Roadster. Actually, they built 506. They were built as the first American sports car by Nash Motor Company of Kenosha, Wisconsin, and Donald Healey of Warwick, England, and also they were bodied in Italy by Pininfarina. And they started building these cars in 1951. They're a hand-built car. They're wonderful. I've had a number of cars through the years. This is probably the best driving car and the most reliable car I've ever had. And they built them in 3 countries. The motors, the drivetrain went from Kenosha, Wisconsin to Warwick, England, and then over to Turin, Italy to be assembled. And they built hand-built bodies and back to the United States for sale. They never really caught on because they were too expensive. They were about $5,100 at that time, and you could buy a new Cadillac for $3,800. So, but nowadays there's not very many left. They're very expensive, and I love it.
Hi, I'm Scott Morris from Kearney, Nebraska, and this is Rochelle. This is a 1956 Palm Beach Nash Rambler. It's a one-of-one prototype, and it was built to compete with the Thunderbird and the Corvette. In 1957, they decided not to produce this Pininfarina car because American Motors decided to close the Hudson dealership and the Nash Rambler dealership, so the concept car was never built.
Yes, you are personally invited to experience this grand annual show, the Kansas City Art Institute's Art of the Car Concours d'Elegance. The 6th annual show will be on Sunday, June 24th, 2012, 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. on the grounds of the Kansas City Art Institute, 4415 Warwick Boulevard, Kansas City, Missouri. Ticket proceeds will benefit the Kansas City Art Institute Student Scholarship Program. Your presence at this event will be greatly rewarded.